Ready? And listen to me. Don't be weird about it. Weird. Okay, that was a lot.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And here we are.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Usually Maggie and I do like 10 jumping jacks, but we didn't do that. But it's okay.
We'll just jiggle for 10 minutes. Or not 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You're telling me you guys weren't freestyling before I got here?
Yes. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Always.
I come in so hot into rooms usually,
Yeah.
like especially if I'm at all anxious about who might be in the room. A friend once told me that when I'm not with them, they imagine me bursting into a room holding so many things in my hands that I'm dropping things, sweat rolling down my face and screaming. And I was like truly touched by how accurate that is to like how true that is to my life.
You know what that's on, Iman? Being an Aries.
Yeah, no,
My girl.
very much.
Yes.
Huge.
We already had this moment.
I need to fill a silence. Like
Same.
Yeah,
sometimes
obviously.
I'm in a group setting, and if it's quiet for more than 5 seconds, I have to say in myself, it's okay. In my head, I'm like, it's fine that it's quiet. Like you don't need to say anything.
I have that same problem.
I feel strong when I let there be silence for like 5 seconds. And then I'm like, all right, if no one's going to say something, I always have a funny story to tell.
You said so anyways.
No, that's growth. Being able to let it be quiet for like up to a minute or so long, that's maturity.
That's maturity. You're not going to hear that here today.
No,
You're not going to hear that.
yeah, because of you two, now when I take a workout class and it's quiet, I used to not think of the quiet of a workout class as a silent space.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, should I make a joke? Like, should I reach out to the person next to me and check in? Like,
you should.
It's too quiet.
I'm also like, we live in a world of like everyone's talking about how like separate we're all getting.
Yeah.
You could work out at home and watch a girl's video on like your phone, or if there are 12 bodies in this space, like we're all being present, we're all getting into our bodies. Like, let's acknowledge that we're all here together doing something.
okay.
Yeah, it's the community.
Yeah.
Well, funny that you say that because I actually started going in an effort to bond with my sister, who, by the way, like she thinks we're bonded enough. She's like, we're already ironclad. Like we didn't need to bond
guys are so
further.
cute.
Okay, thank you. I love her. Our dynamic is like I'm obsessed with her, and she like puts up with me, but it's fine.
That's me and my little sister
Yeah,
too.
it's
Yeah.
just, I'm like,
You guys know.
Yeah.
I literally like, what are you doing today? She's like, why do you need to know? I'm like, fuck. When she started going to Pilates, I was like, wow, like I need to come with you to try it. And she was like, okay, 1 day a week. She was like,
allotted
I
time.
give you Fridays.
Yes.
I feel like it's been so great for our relationship.
So
And the
sweet.
community building aspect of it is so huge.
Yes.
Like
It's so fun.
I'm on this podcast. You were
Yes,
at my
yes.
book launch. Like,
Yes.
I mean, do you remember when I came to your Pilates class the day that Most Famous Girl came out?
Yes. And I was like, wait, I know you from other things. And now you're at my Pilates. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
The world's small.
I never go to Pilates by myself just because like I think of
You
Pilates
get, like, the
as
day
an
off that day.
opportunity to hang out with Ava. Yeah, I was like so nervous
to go alone.
Yeah.
You did great. She was quiet that day, I will say. But I was like, I know who this is. And I was like, I'm not going to attack her until after class. So I talked to you.
Oh, I
after
always
in the
will be
lobby,
like,
but-
so her book came out.
Yeah. It took me a while to get there, I feel. Environments where everyone is like beautiful and strong stress me out. Like I'm sort of like silly and weak. So like I
You're
like
beautiful
that.
and
You're not
strong.
either of those
Hush
things.
up.
Thank you. But I do think it's been so instrumental for Ava and I.
They'll come to my last class, and so then I like to go on a little walk with them afterwards. You know,
It's
And hold
special.
hands in between the two of
Yes,
them.
I'm like, I'm one of them.
Maggie doesn't have a sister. So yeah, they're so
Yes.
similar looking.
Yeah,
All the
I'm
listeners
right
are like,
in.
what do they look like?
We are talking so much about Pilates. Remember I said I wonder if we'll talk about it?
What if we're going to talk about Pilates? I don't know. We haven't even introduced
I
this
am
yet.
okay. Wait, but yeah, we literally should introduce you
And the podcast.
and ourselves and the podcast. Anyways, hi, welcome
Hey.
to
Don't Be Weird About It.
That's Bailey.
That's Maggie.
and that's Iman.
We have a third.
Hi guys.
Today we have a third
Oscar award winning.
Oscar award-winning author.
So true.
multi
She's actually an
times.
EGOT. She
I'm going
writes-
for the Nobel Peace Prize next.
Yeah, we're submitting you for it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I've been too low achieving up until this
this
point.
is actually the beginning
Podcast.
of your campaign for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I was like, what should I do first?
Yeah.
Don't be weird about it.
Probably
Podcast.
Don't be weird about
We
it.
have a lot of things we're campaigning for right now.
Yes.
And I think that we could add that.
We could
as
add
one.
this.
Can I ask where the name for the podcast came from?
We kind of talked about it on our first episode, but like we are just like, we think people as a society, and I feel like you can really also buy into this, just need to stop taking everything so seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just like
yes.
not be weird about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, it's a way for us to be like, okay, Iman, don't be weird about it. But, and then we can ask you weird questions.
And then we get weird immediately.
And then we're gonna get
Okay,
weird.
I love that.
Oh yeah,
But
don't
we're
worry.
going to
Yeah.
get weird, but we're not going to be weird about it.
Exactly.
No, that's why I like on principle make my books extremely chaotic.
Oh,
Yes, they
yeah.
are.
And like
We're gonna
campy and
talk about
silly.
Yeah.
No, but it's because like we need to make fiction fun again.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you.
Please make fiction fun again.
there-
Oh my God.
there's a time and a place, obviously, for like your sad girl literary fic novel.
sure. Love
I have been known to indulge, but I also love to like binge read 300 pages of like absolute chaos dumping.
Absolutely.
The way that I ate this up. This is I'm holding Iman's new book. I read this shit so fast. I could
Yeah,
not
so
put it
we
down.
should say that.
Compliment to
So
me.
Yes.
Iman has written 3 books now.
3 books,
with her
yes.
newest that just came out, Female Fantasy, which Maggie and I both read for our book club.
Yes. Yes,
we're
because
obsessed.
we also have a Pilates girl book club.
Can I give my elevator pitch?
Yeah, go.
So, Female Fantasy follows Junie, who keeps breaking up with the disappointing men she dates because they don't hold a candle to her favorite book boyfriend, who just happens to be the hero of a Romantasy series about sexy mermaids. Junie's obsessed with this series. She's a fangirl to the nth degree. She writes fan fiction. She belongs to like an online fan community, and that's where she made all of her friends. She's hyperfixated. But when she finds out that this character is based off of someone that the author knows in real life, she embarks on an epic quest to meet him and find out if soulmates really do exist. Of course, it wouldn't be a great hero's journey without trials and tribulations meeting her along the way. And she has to use skills that she's learned from reading romance to fight her way towards happily ever after. This book is 50% campy Murr romantasy. It's 50% a brother's best friend road trip rom-com, but it's 100% a heartfelt love letter to fandom and to the romance genre.
Oh, I love
Please read
that.
it.
Please read it.
I love this book
It's
so
good.
much.
Loved it.
And if you love it, please tell your friends about it. I need everyone's help getting the word out there.
Post about it. 5 stars out of 5.
Oh my
first of
God.
all.
Had the best
Thank you,
time. What a
guys.
ride. It's a ride.
But we have
Yeah.
lots of questions. Maggie, you should ask your question because Maggie's been dying to ask you this
I
question.
have a big question. When I got to this point in the book, I put it down because I was sitting next to Nick and I go, oh my God, someone in this book went to Kenyon.
She wants to know why or who you know.
You want to know who went to Kenyon? My fiance. And then also
And that guy right over there.
Eli.
Oh, that's really funny.
We do officially now. This is our first episode where we do have a real ass producer, Eli. So if
Oh,
you
this
guys
is your
talking to him-
first episode with a
with
producer?
Eli.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eli.
Wow, I'm honored.
Literally every person we know went to Kenyon.
No one has ever asked me this.
I'm sure they haven't.
Well,
No one
so
has cared.
Kenyon has like a famous writing program.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I like
So
That's what Nick did.
I kind of wanted to pick a like pretentious
Yeah. Say it. No, lay it out. No.
Say it.
You can
Say
say
it.
anything you want to say about it.
style program where our famous author might have, fostered her love of writing.
I'm obsessed
Yes.
with that.
And I think I picked Kenyon because someone that I knew in high school went to the Kenyon one, and I was like, "This would be funny because
Who was
now
it?
I can
Name them.
Can you?
We can
We can
bleep
bleep it. We can
We'll
bleep it.
Did you know? Oh my God. I remember when he like sort of underwent his like soft boy, like whatever. And I thought that would be a really funny tent pole for like the Ryan Mayer connection. Obviously, no one has ever asked me this and I never thought I would have to share it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, and that just goes to show like how like deep you are going for like every little detail.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with that.
I don't really know if this is true of all writers, but for
should
me,
be.
like everything is extremely intentional. Like
I
I
love
don't
it.
really like throw in a detail unless it's and they're all, by the way, inside jokes with myself.
Yes.
Like
I love
there,
that.
if I have to write 80,000 plus words, I want to make myself cackle like at
Yes.
least
You
once or
have
twice
to.
a day.
You can feel the joy in
yeah.
here.
That's
Oh
what
my
we're doing with this
gosh.
Yeah.
podcast.
Since I do have a connection to Kenyon,
Yeah.
I made it more funny. It made it
Yeah.
funnier, I think is the correct superlative
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Be it for me, that she was pining after this guy when I'm like, you just want to Kenyon.
No,
Just
but
a
really,
Kenyon nerd.
and I think that's what makes it funnier though when
Yeah.
you meet Ryan Mayer and he's like so earnest about wanting to make the world a better place, but he
Yeah.
like works kind of in a midtown finance building. I mean, I went to Georgetown and I could make fun of that forever, but like something that I've always found hilarious about these small, like elite liberal arts schools is that most of the people that I know that go there get really into like rejecting homogeny, but then simultaneously become like an unbelievably homogenous community. Like they reject the homogeny from where they came and embrace an entirely separate kind of homogeny. I remember a girl I knew growing up in New York coming back from Oberlin, and she ran into a friend on the bus, and she was going to get the Canada Goose symbol from her jacket removed because she felt like it was like unjust to walk around campus with like a giant symbol of capitalism and how expensive the jacket was when there are students that can't afford textbooks. And I found this to be very funny because you still spent the same amount on the jacket. You're just cosplaying as someone who wouldn't.
The geese are still dead.
And what if you actually just donated some money to the kids who couldn't get the textbooks? That actually would be helpful.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, it comes from, this is all just, it's like privilege, right? Like now I'm just really dragging, but like I need to insult myself really soon.
You went to a different place.
I did go to Georgetown. Georgetown actually has an amazing writing program that no one knows about because it's known primarily for its School of Foreign Service, which is like political, and then its business school. But no, there were a few of us artsy kids there. I, of course, like needed to go somewhere where I would be different so that I would get attention from that. But I wore my slogan beanies and my eyeliner, and I walked around with a guitar strapped to my back everywhere, even if I didn't have a reason
Do you play
to
guitar?
play it. Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Oh, I very seriously was doing songwriting for a long time.
Oh my love.
So I had my bit sort of figured out. And then we had a club that was formed while I was there called Gucci, Georgetown University Coalition of Creative Individuals.
Gucci.
And we would have like open mics, and they were sparsely attended, but really good for learning how to speak in front of a crowd. And
that's real.
Getting comfortable doing uncomfortable things.
I love that.
Yeah,
I bring the guitar out.
Yeah, we have one right there.
We do have a guitar.
Oh my god!
No, I'm totally teasing. But
What would you play on the guitar if someone put a guitar in your hands right now?
could you?
Yeah, I would play an original so I could
you'd have
absolutely
to.
woo you. I was 8 years old writing songs.
That's so cute.
Poorly, obviously.
Yeah, same.
When I was 12, I made a mixtape of original set to GarageBand loops called Dreams and All Those Things. The album art was a bird's eye image of me like sprawled out on my bed like this, like
my God,
staring at the
yes.
camera. Again, age of 12. And I did not have a pleasant middle school experience.
Who did?
Yo, you did? Yeah,
No, I said who did?
No, you said you did. No, mine
No.
was fine.
I mean, like I went to school on the Upper East Side, and I was one of 2 Middle Eastern kids at the school, and the other one was my cousin. And we discovered it at school. Like,
no.
we were on the same family tree, and we were like, has he? Like, what's going on? I didn't really have a social life. And, but I felt so strongly that this body of work would like represent me and like show everyone how I felt that I burned like 50 copies and distributed them at school. And that decision like ruined my life for 3 years.
Definitely.
Because everywhere I went, it was like playing and I couldn't escape it.
Similar to you, I was like, this will show everybody how cool I am. And I sang like a big Broadway song at the middle school talent show.
Backfires so hard.
And the teachers loved me so much after that.
Exactly correct.
And all the students were like, this girl has to die.
No,
weirdo.
and that was my biggest problem is that it attracted the wrong kind of attention. After I finally got people to start like, not immediately quoting me back to me. Miss Martins, the art teacher, like would insist on playing it while people were creating art in her art class, and I had to sneak into her room after hours and steal back the tape. I needed it to leave the consciousness of the student body.
The idea of you sneaking into the classroom and stealing.
It was
heartbreaking.
it was really stressful time. It's very nice to talk to 2 people that can talk as fast as I can.
That is rare.
No, and 2 people that are fully embracing their weirdness. What are the things that you guys didn't embrace as tweens that you then later embraced in adulthood.
Oh, I love that.
I actually feel like when I was a tween, I was openly embracing it in your vein, where I was just like, what do you mean everybody doesn't love Broadway? What do you mean everybody isn't like loud and weird?
And no one tried to stamp it out of you?
No. Well, I don't think they could. I was like too emboldened. I think it was more like later in my like college time that I feel like I like really started to dim my light in college.
Oh, 100%.
You know.
Well, because musical theater
my
college,
gosh.
we both majored in theater, and they'll do that. The whole time you're just told that you're ugly, too fat, your hair's long, wrong, you're never going to make it, blah, blah, blah.
You have to talk about all of your traumas in front of everybody.
Theater school does that to you.
humanity.
It beats out your humanity. It makes you into like, I don't know, like picture perfect
Commercialized performer.
That's going to sell.
I had never explored anything else before I went to college. So I was like, well, this is the only thing I'm like amazing at. So like I have to do it.
Yes.
But also
I get
my
that so
theater
bad.
professors used to look us in the eyes every day and say, if there is something else you think that you could do and you'd be good at, go do that.
But I didn't
and
know
so we
it.
were like, oh my God, we have to be the best at this.
Yes.
So we were like, we have to like only focus on this.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to pursue a creative path and have to believe that you're going to be like the one in a million that's going to be able
You have to want
do
that
something
and
with it.
nothing else.
Yeah, it's true. And I think in a lot of ways, writing, like I tell people all the time that I think like the people that books publish aren't necessarily the most talented. I think they're the most stubborn. They're the people that actually finish the book and then weren't embarrassed and like
Begged a million publishers until somebody got them.
It's a resilience.
It
game.
is.
It's like I think publishing is like a last man standing game in a lot of ways.
See, that's the same as theater. It, like in all
really
art forms,
is.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, it's
You have to be stubborn. You have to like, because we did the audition route for theater for like, like 3-4 years in New York before we both were like, okay, that's enough of that.
I mean, people can only take so much rejection before they start to
100%.
believe it.
Yes.
I mean, you have to know what you're worth. I've been doing a lot of reflecting in the last month about creative consumption and what success looks like when you do something professionally that like started off as like a passion.
Yeah.
And,
that's hard.
Which is hard. And you have to very much like constantly check in with yourself to make sure it's actually making you happy and that you've got all your safeguards in place. When I say safeguards, I don't mean like an emotional boundary. I mean like tag requests on blocked on Goodreads,
Right.
like
Oh my
no
God.
Google
Which,
alerts, like
readers,
can't see a
stop
thing.
tagging authors in reviews.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's
That's
insane.
crazy.
She's not going to change her book.
It's
like, what do you
insane.
mean?
It's so
People are crazy.
so too late.
I apologize from the Bookstagram community.
No, and I love the Bookstagram community so much. I love book talk. Like I love all the
awesome.
readers, but it is one of those things where like in order to do my job, I make myself available online. And then because I make myself available online, things happen that make it hard for me to do my job.
Yeah.
And it's just a vicious cycle. But I had a really great FaceTime with my best friend from college. She said to me, you know, our lives are made of like 4 different tenets. We have our career, we have our family, we have our friends, and we have our health. And the truth is like we can have it all, but we can't have it all at once. So if you're firing on all cylinders on one, the others will have give. And that means that like if you're putting everything into your career, that means your health is going to take, you know, a turn. And also like your personal relationships are going to suffer because you can't prioritize them. She was like, you need to figure out like the right balance for you. But it reminded me of my favorite quote ever, who I don't know who said it, which is usually it's right, but I'll use create. Create because you love it, not because you want to be loved for it.
Yes.
I'm in edits for my 4th book right now. It's so humbling to remember that, writing is actually the best part of writing a book.
Yes.
Like the actual craft, like the puzzle piecing together, that moment when the story starts to sing and something that did not make any sense starts to like
that's the
click.
fun. Yeah.
That's the best part of writing. The best part of writing isn't the going on the road or the making a bunch of
Publishing,
TikToks or the all of that.
Yeah.
And those are really cool parts, but like I don't know. It's important to
not what
remember
you
that
got into it.
because guys, and this is the worst thing to hear as someone who is pursuing a creative path, but your job is never going to love you back.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's so
never going to love you
Yeah.
back the way that you love it. And like that catharsis, that sense of having accomplished enough, it's never going to come.
Yeah.
So you've got to look elsewhere. And that's why you have this podcast. And that's why, you know, you have Pilates. That's why you have your best friends. That's why you have your family. That's why you have exploring New York. Like life is so rich. And I think in order to do anything that you love professionally, you have to remember that it's not going to give back to you what you give to it. Yeah. And that sounds really negative, but I actually find it to be incredibly freeing.
No, it's freeing. Well, I feel like especially your job is so, I feel like singular in that that you spend a lot of time by yourself and with your brain.
It's
so I could imagine it's easy to spiral.
Writing is the weirdest job, I think. Like, I mean, now everyone's going to be like, you could be a unicyclist, but like, whatever. You can be a puppeteer. I'm like,
okay, shut up.
But writing is very strange because I spend half my year holed up in my office speaking to literally no one all day, unless I go out and like make conversation with a barista or like make myself go have plans, whatever. I will not speak out loud until Matthew comes home from work. And then the other half of the year, I am basically doing a one-woman show for like 6 months. Like every time I do an event, every time I do a podcast, every whatever, I'm like promoting myself constantly and I'm entertaining. And I don't know many other careers where the dichotomy is so stark. Like there's so much dissonance between the two halves, the writer and the author. And now I'm going to think of a million other ones, but
no, that's like
I feel
huge.
like that's
it's
like
weird.
Even like musicians when they're writing are often collaborating with other musicians and producers, and like I feel like obviously you have editors, but like they're just like sending you notes via the computer, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm not. It's the one thing that like early aughts media got wrong is that like your editor is very rarely meeting you in person to give you line notes. I mean, sometimes. But a lot of it is just, it's given to you in letter form and then you go through and you apply it yourself. I'm like on a very much like book a year schedule right now.
Which is
when's the next one slated to come out? We can bleep this out if you
next fall.
Yeah.
But honestly, the thing about every book I've ever published is the date has changed every single time. So I'm like,
who knows?
I know.
What's it called?
Oh, I definitely haven't said this, but it's gonna be called Once in a Timeline, like once in a lifetime.
I love that.
Another thing is that I've never once correctly named a book. Like every name that I've given my book has then been changed later.
Wait, what was Female Fantasy originally called?
I named Female Fantasy Good on Paper.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good name though.
I remember seeing the picture. You took a picture of that.
I think my original draft.
Of the draft,
and every time I turned it in, they're like, so about the name. And
I like that name.
I really love Female Fantasy was perfect though.
It's such a good name.
It's perfect for the book. They were dead ass, and I didn't push back at all. Honestly, I think every name has been better. Like all four of them have been better. Like they ate with those.
They ate.
Once in a Timeline, I was calling a day in the life.
So close.
What else? 100 Other Girls, I named Clickbait, but spelled CLIQUE.
I like
that's fun though. That's
Clickbait, and The Most Famous Girl in the World was called Kill Your Darlings.
I kind of like that though.
Whenever I say something like this, I'm like, is my publisher listening? Like sometimes I'm at events and I'm like, if you work for my publisher, can you raise your hand? And then if no one does, I'm like, okay, no narcs in the audience.
We can get honest.
They told me that I wonder if this would be relevant in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025. But they said that I couldn't have kill in the title because like I couldn't like say kill on like social media. And they're like, we're gonna rely really heavily on like a social media campaign for your book, and we don't want you to get like shadow banned because you keep saying the word or showing the word kill.
Honestly, that's fair.
I think that is true still.
I didn't fight back.
But
I
don't think Instagram would care, but I think TikTok would care.
TikTok does.
It's like the text. You could speak it, but if you typed it.
And also TikTok now does that thing where it's like, even if you do your own captions and you change the word to unalive or whatever, they do like auto what's it called? Auto subtitles. So they would like clock that I said kill and like put the auto subtitle. All of which to say,
like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. But my publisher is very specific in that it does things very differently than most of the other traditional publishers. It's very, very data driven. So everything is focus group tested. Cover process usually takes a while because it's focus group tested, and then the tweak is focus group tested. And if at any point the data shows that they don't like it, we go back. And then that has to be focus group tested again. I love all of my covers. And I'm very happy with where I've ended up, and very happy with my titles too. They do the same thing for titles, but it is like a very intensive, long process.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And again, very grateful for everything that they've done for me. And I love every single book I've put out, but I sometimes just get jealous of my friends that get to say, well, this is my mood board and like, this is the name I want. And then
they're like, okay,
they're like, love it. Mine are like, well, the market research shows. And and that's fine because obviously it works. I was about to say I write books because I want people to read them. But another question my best friend asked me on the call, and this is crazy, I have to drop this mic after I say it, is would you write another book if there was no guarantee that anyone would ever read it?
Ooh.
Like, would you still write books
that
if
is the
one
question.
person? And I hesitated, which I was surprised by.
Yeah.
Oh.
I realized eventually that the answer is definitely yes. Because like when I first started writing, I do it because I've had an idea that excites me so much that I have to get it down.
Totally.
It comes from a place of passion, not a place of obligation.
Yeah.
The reason I paused is because it takes a really fucking long time to write a book.
Yes.
And books are really long.
Yeah.
Famously.
And it is nice to spend months to years of your life on something and then have other people know it exists.
Yes.
But I could write fan fiction.
Yeah.
And I have.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's talk.
I know, we can get into that. I wanted to know about like specifically writing like the sexy scenes. Like, how do we approach that?
What's the process?
What's the process behind that? And then on top of that too, do people like, now that they're reading these things of yours, are they asking you like unhinged questions about your personal life? I'm not asking you personal questions, but I bet people are like, oh, well, I can ask about this now.
Well, I was really surprised when that reader knew Matt's name at my Rip Goddess event.
There was a girl that was like, there's Matthew, and I was like, is this one of her friends? He was like a book fan.
No, it was
weird.
A reader was like, well, we assume that like Nico is based on Matt, but who is like Reich inspired by?
Yeah.
And I paused and was like,
you were like,
sorry, like Matt, my husband. Also, I was like, respectfully, like Nico looks like Drew Starkey, like not Matthew. Like I was like, it's funny that you think that.
He's Drew Starkey.
But the answer to that is obviously, it has gotten a little weird. But honestly, it could be weirder. One of the best parts of my job is that I now have a lot of romance author friends, and they're all amazing. And I've heard that they get crazy too personal questions.
That's what I've heard. And I'm like, why are people doing that?
I just moderated Lindsay Strawby's event. She's the author of the Split or Swallow series.
Yes,
if you guys don't know,
which is correct.
That is Basilisk Shifter Erotica.
I have the first one. I have the first unedited version of it. I have the like pre-edited. I have to give it to you. It's
the most batshit crazy bonkers duology I've ever read. And by the way, number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list.
It's great.
That book sold more copies that your brain can fathom in its first week. And like the people want Basilisk Shifter Erotica.
That's what they want. Let's give the people what they want.
Snake smut. Oh, sorry. Snake is, I learned reading this that snake is actually a derogatory term for basilisk, and we can't be using slurs.
Basilisk. No slurs here.
They prefer serpent or basilisk.
Serpent, of course.
But yeah, I mean, there was this series is nuts. Everyone should read it. It's the type of thing where it's like, when I was reading it, I didn't want to tell people about it, but I found myself having to. I felt like I was walking around with a giant secret. I needed everyone I talked to. I
need you to read this.
I'll read it. I will.
I'll bring it to you.
But I moderated this event at Barnes & Noble Union Square with the lovely Lindsay, and I was asking her like anything off limits, and she was like, please, no questions about like my personal life and like my personal sex preferences. Yes. And I was like, girl, like you thought I was going to ask you if you've ever participated in like a 69 sex ritual, which does happen in the book. It's called the Ouroboros. But I was like, that's crazy. And she was like, you would not believe what people think is appropriate now to ask me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it definitely does happen. I do think that, again, writing about sex and relationships on the internet has kind of desensitized me to talking about sex in front of audiences.
Yeah, I'm like, you came from that, so you've been with that for so long.
My friends always make fun of me because I can talk about sex unbelievably clinically. Like I don't bat an eye when talking about anything, but that's because of the years that I spent like talking to academics about sex and all things under the sex and relationships umbrella. But what was the first part of this question?
Oh, just like how do you approach writing the romance scenes?
Oh, the scenes
specifically.
You
wrote a good little scene in there. I really liked it.
Thank you.
A good little sexy scene. Everybody's like, let me fast forward.
Yeah, there is.
It's on page 100.
The roof.
There are 2 spicy scenes in this book, back to back, and they exist in 2 different worlds. They're both really fun and like hot in extremely different ways.
Yes.
I will say that after my mom read the contemporary sex scene, she called my sister and was like, "Have you read Iman's book?"
I was gonna ask.
We were gonna ask how your family felt.
Ava was like, in no world do I want to talk to you about the sex scene in Iman's book. Like, no way is this what I thought we would talk about.
I love that your mom was like so into it.
Oh, my parents read this. My parents
they
read
were like front row at her book launch. Like they were like,
my parents are very involved in.
They're wearing t-shirts that are like, "We love Iman."
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I would say this book launch was like the least involved. Like my mom usually like heckles me from the crowd, and we only got one heckle this time around.
Great.
This is my first true romance, and even this one, even though it is meta commentary about romance, I sometimes hesitate to call it true romance because the 2 tenets of romance are it has to end in a happily ever after, and the entire like story arc of the book has to revolve around the couple or, the relationship.
Sure.
This story does majorly end in a happily ever after, which I owed people after the ending of my second book. I hesitate to say that the couple that ends up together is the storyline. I think this book is in many ways more so like a story of like self-discovery.
Yes, 100%.
I think my next one is like an even truer romance. And
and I can't wait.
I do like to say like my books get more romantic with every book. Because my first novel had a romance subplot and it, spoiler, ends disastrously and has a deeply unsexy sex scene in it. I feel like I can spoil this now. It came out in 2022. He like sucks and she has to like teach him how to use a vibrator on her in the beauty closet at work, by the way. And my second novel had a very, very like smutty sex scene in it that was a total like 180 from the second, but there is some weird stuff with the couple. Like that story was, again, more romantic, but it's not a romance. And I actually want people to read Most Famous Girl, so I'm not going to give away what happens, but it's worth reading for the sex scene. But like people were freaking out about the ending to me. And then female fantasy was the first time that I got to like not be stressed out writing the sex scene because I knew that it wasn't going to elicit like panic. I'm hoping that people read female fantasy first because I kind of hope that if I sell them on like my style of writing and like the camp and the chaos and the voice, that they'll be nicer to me when they go backwards through my catalog.
That's true.
My only like real rule when it comes to writing sex scenes is that the sex scene needs to feel like the couple. Like the story can't take a complete turn and you can't have like a sweet demure man that starts like calling her a whore, like
slap her.
Call
me daddy.
Like it just has to feel like organic and like true to the characters.
100%.
And that the sex can't be like completely gratuitous, which there's erotica exists. I love smut. Like I think everyone should read it. If you want to. If you want to.
No worries.
But the subgenre of romance that I'm writing in, I want the sex to move the story forward.
Yes, please.
And then obviously I want it to be hot. So I guess those are the three big rules that I try to live by. And I felt the stress when I was writing the Most Famous Girl sex scene because it was my first like real spicy scene. And I mean, it's very smutty. And I remember when I was working on that, I went through and reread a bunch of contemporary rom-coms that I felt did a good job of writing like sexy sex scenes. And I like literally wrote down like language that they used that I thought was hot. Like I studied like the sentence structure. I went in and did research. I was highlighting and I am always reading a ton of romance, but this was purely academic, obviously.
Of course.
And then to figure out if it worked, I literally would just read out loud the scene to my now husband.
Yes.
And it was always like, sometimes he could not look at me. Like he would have to just be like looking at the kitchen or something.
I love that.
He's like,
while I read it out loud. And it was very, it's reading out loud is always so helpful to figure out if something works or not. The sex scenes in female fantasy, I felt a lot more confident going in. I just had a very clear understanding of like what I wanted both of those sex scenes to look like. I knew that I wanted the mermaid sex scene to be both outrageous and tropey as hell. Yeah. Like I wanted to reference all of like the popular contemporary romance.
And I love that.
And I was like, there's so much fun I can have here because of like what people can do with water, like what mermaids can do with water and suction and the tales of it all. I was although I did realize I'm doing like research for this book, I reread a ton of like siren mythology and read about mermaids a lot, and which was, by the way, my dream job. And I have been wondering for so long, why have mermaids disappeared from the cultural zeitgeist? Like we had the golden era. I talked about this at the event. And then as I was writing, I was like, oh my God, it's because they can't figure out how to make the mermaids fuck. And like that's, I genuinely think that's it.
I think it is too.
Vampires and werewolves, like there's no issue there.
Easy.
Yeah. Mermaids, it's like, you got to get rid of the tail. Yeah, it's not going to, so you got to.
What are you going to do about it?
It's really hard to figure out.
I was worried for her.
Or to keep it hot.
Logistical question.
We had some logistical questions.
Yeah. So all of which to say, like, I was very excited about getting to work on that one. And then I knew going into, again, I don't ruin it, but like, I knew for Junie's sex scene that like I wanted her being a romance reader to play a huge role.
It was, I loved that aspect.
Yeah, it was just really fun to write. Honestly, I find writing quiet moments of chemistry way more intimidating than writing sex scenes. Yeah. For intimacy to feel earned in a way that isn't corny or cliche, that's hard. So challenging. And this is why like we need more respect for romance authors who are making people feel something. Yes. It's so much harder to write like a quiet moment of connection than like a big explosion or a car chase or whatever.
Totally agree.
Which I found out in this book as well. And then I honestly, when I write sex scenes, I do not think about people reading them. I will say I realize that I definitely like can't read my audiobooks because I can't read. Like,
I will say listening to a romance audiobook, getting to the sex scenes, it always is a little weird.
Did either of you listen to Female Fantasy?
I haven't. No.
I didn't listen to it.
I have Samantha Brentmore narrated this, and she absolutely like killed it. Yeah. She's so good. She makes the fantasy excerpts. I like listen to it. I'm like, I can't believe I never remember writing anything. So whenever I reread,
who wrote this?
That's how I feel whenever I read anything I wrote. I'm like, from my brain.
So when did I say that?
When I'm reading it, I'm like, this is funny as hell. And then when I'm listening to her read it in her like gorgeous medieval tone, I'm like,
this sounds
like,
great.
Oh my God. Like, George R. R. Martin retire. Like I've arrived. But
I love an audiobook.
Yeah, no, she did such a great job. But I recorded the author's note, and holy shit, that was so hard. I was like, that's
just like reading that. Yeah.
That took so long. I can't believe it.
I loved that author's note though. And I think it like sets the tone for the book so perfectly. Genuinely, I don't know which part of the book I liked the best in the way that, because it's like two books in one.
Yeah.
And whenever one chapter would end, I'd be like, no, I need to go back. Keep talking about the mermaids.
I get two big comments a lot, which is either like, people were obsessed with the A Tale of Saltwater and Secrets excerpts and like want more of it. They want it to be a legit book.
I would read more.
Or I have people that like don't read a lot of fantasy and were like, I just wanted to get back to like the contemporary love story. But I truly, and obviously I'm biased, but I see both of these storylines as like two halves of a whole. Like I think they complement each other, and really like they come together to tell like one big story, and they literally climax at the same time.
No, exactly.
There's so much joy in this book. Like I think like you can just tell when an author was like having fun writing something. Have you read Josh Richards' debut?
What's it called?
It's Different This Time.
I haven't read that one yet. No,
I bring it up because there is like a theater subplot in that book, and I do feel like I could just tell that Josh Richards loves theater when I was reading it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Totally. I love nerds. Like I love listening to someone who talk for 20 minutes uninterrupted about something I know nothing about.
Yes,
because they're just like so excited.
Agree.
Yeah.
So
okay, so back into logistical questions. I need a deeper description of how the breathing underwater situation worked. I need you to describe that to me. Because I was reading it and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
my big dumb brain is like,
there's a lot of mechanical issues with how it works.
I was having enough fun that I didn't
just tell me what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
she's in a little air bubble.
She's in an air bubble.
Is it like to her body completely, or is it around her head?
I pictured it more like circular.
Around her
yeah, she's in an air bubble, and then she's sometimes in like caverns that block out the water.
Gotcha.
And when she's in the cavern, you you have to suspend disbelief a little bit.
I suspended all of it because I don't care. I just want to know.
Yeah, I did recently get a very long TikTok comment of someone being like, I'm enjoying the book, but I have a few questions. And then it was 12 incredibly intensive questions about the science behind the water. And
so there's science, it's a romantasy.
I had to respond being like, baby, it's magic.
It's magic.
It's the power of magic that is allowing her to.
You could have just answered that. I would have taken that.
I really didn't realize how much fantasy authors rely on magic to fix plot holes in their books,
like magic.
Until I wrote like a parody romantasy and realized I think the hardest genre you can write in is fantasy. I talk about this all the time.
It's gotta be. There's so much that goes in it. The world building.
The world building is
the magic system.
The magic system, but also the religious systems.
The political
history going back 100 years. How do the irrigation system work?
And make it not be boring.
Make it not be boring. And a lot of fantasy writers develop their own language for whatever fictional place they've created.
Which is crazy. And how do you show all of that and not tell?
Yeah. And also you have to hold all that like in your head. Like that's wild. I think it's unbelievable. At the same time, whenever they write themselves into a hole, they can use magic to dig themselves
100%.
out.
And we give them that.
And they deserve that because of all the work they do. However, in contemporary, you don't get to do that. Like I wish I could be like, fuck, like this plotline makes no sense. She magically,
magic.
It was I will say because so much of the underwater rules, the scientific underwater rules made no sense. The copy edits were crazy. My copy editor was losing it. I basically had to just be like,
doesn't matter.
I was like, this is a parody jam.
No, it did not make or break anything for me.
For sure.
I'm genuinely just curious what you pictured.
Anyone who knocked a star off my review because it was distracting, by the way, you're right for that. Like,
I'll take it.
I will take that criticism because it was incredibly hard to figure out
But don't tag me in that review. I don't want to know.
Oh, obviously, I don't want to see any reviews.
No.
I don't want to see good reviews. I want to see bad reviews.
No, that's not your business.
Yeah, it's not my business. All I want to see is like a cute picture of my book on your coffee table.
Done.
Send me your aesthetic photos and then don't tell me what you thought at all.
Then don't look at me ever again.
Please.
Well, we loved it. Okay, we both decided before you came here that we did picture you as the main character while reading it though.
Sorry. You and my mother.
Did you picture that at all? Like, do you ever like put yourself into it at all? Like, even like...
That's so funny.
Because I usually read books and I'm like, it's me. But like, obviously I'm like, I'm not Persian, so I'm not Junie. But I pictured you.
So my mom also thinks every book I've ever written is about me. First me, second her. And she takes whatever I say about the parents so incredibly personally. Always.
I was wondering.
And I've never written a character like my mom. If I did, you would notice.
I can't wait for that book.
I can't wait to meet her.
Eventually.
Yeah, she'll show up eventually.
She has to.
And she will be insufferable when she does, by the way. So I think it's like very thinly veiled secret that every single debut novel is at the very least self-insert and at the very most autofiction.
Yeah.
And working in publishing especially, you can't miss it. The more people I meet, the more I'm able to see that like their debut novel is so deeply personal. And I think that's because like when you first start writing, you write what you know. The only character who I feel resembles me is Nora, the protagonist of my debut novel, 100 Other Girls. And she very much resembles me at like 22. And for that reason, I think she is like the most annoying of all three of my FMCs. Like she annoys the shit out of me. I'm so protective of her. I'm like so endeared to her, like protect her at all costs. But oh my God, she gets on my fucking nerves. Like when I was writing, I had to hold myself back from correcting her mistakes. I had to let her do things that were...
That is actually so hard, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, this is going to make her so unlikable. But
this picks at something that I like really appreciate about your books and that I like want more in the zeitgeist. It's like I love an interesting flawed character, and actually like no story is good if everyone's perfect. So I need the internet to shut up about being like, what this character is doing is actually this psychological thing, blah blah blah. Like sure, but like that's good. Like let it happen. Thumbs up, the author did their job.
Completely. It's so funny that you say that, because I think especially in romance, readers can be very critical of an unlikable female character. And my first main character was like super annoying. My second one is a mess. Rose, the protagonist of The Most Famous Girl in the World, is the messiest bitch you'll meet. I love her. Like that is my angry Adderall bopping queen.
That's my girl.
And I will defend her with an inch of my life. But Junie's the first character where she's such a ray of sunshine. Like that's so my lovable. Like positive, like optimism, glass half full lover girl queen. That I was like, wow, I can't believe I just wrote a likable character. And she makes mistakes. She can be annoying, like all those things. But like for the most part, she's like so joyful. It makes sense that this is the book that people are like responding to the most. Like this is without a doubt the novel that like is bringing new readers to me. Like the word of mouth on it has been amazing. And I think that's because people are connecting with Junie so specifically. Of course, because I fucking hate myself. The next FMC of mine is like pretty annoying and superficial because I needed to go back to my roots.
Go back to me.
So couldn't let people get too comfortable. Junie, I picture her wearing like unbelievably colorful clothes and having like big hair and a big personality.
I feel that.
You know,
okay,
I'm a fangirl. Like
I'm a fangirl. I wrote down, how does it feel to be the hottest author out there?
Wow.
I was like, how's it feel?
It feels amazing.
It feels great.
Finally.
She said finally some recognition. God.
Yeah, I mean,
talking about it.
I know. I really want to be known for my looks and not my skills. This is my favorite interview ever.
Should we do like rapid fire?
Rapid fire.
Okay.
Let's go. Minimal answers. Okay. What is your favorite book genre?
Romance.
What's your favorite fantasy book?
I really love the Legendborn series.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite romance book?
Oh my God. It's cliche, but I love Beach Read by Emily Henry. Yeah.
Quick answer. What do you have to say to the people who look down on romance as a genre?
Fuck you, get laid.
Will you name characters after us in your next book?
100%.
Or in a future book?
I said a future book because she's already editing this one.
100%. Well, I'm editing. I could
We don't have
slide
to be main
you
characters.
in.
We could be like friends of the main character.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the checkout clerk. And I'm like, hey, it's just
I would love that.
It's like a weird scene.
And she's like, I don't know why that checkout clerk said
I
her
did
name
to me.
I did that for a charity giveaway. Like I'll name a character in book for a reader.
Obsessed.
I've never gotten flat out asked.
Well,
what we're asking.
I'm shocked. Every author I meet, I'm like, so if you want to use Bailey as like a lead, like I'm there.
Well, actually,
Okay.
can I
No,
pitch
but I
this?
think we'd be fun friends.
Can I pitch this?
Yes.
We say all the time that everyone's dogs named are either Bailey or Maggie, so we could also be dogs.
No, I don't want to be a dog. I want to be a person.
She's like, you don't speak for me.
dog.
I'll see if I can slide you guys into this one,
Human
and if
level.
not,
If
you
not,
will
the
be
next.
prioritized in book five.
Book 5, it's called Bailey and Maggie.
Yeah. Everyone's like, wow, a strange detour from the Middle Eastern American protagonist she's
So
become
weird.
known for.
She's got
two
these
redheaded-
two redhead white friends.
Yeah,
Who are they?
it's so random. Like her squad is so homogenous.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to do that, guys.
Maybe they're twin sisters or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that would be so
I don't know,
fun. That would be so fun for me.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
The only issue with this is that my next novel is a time loop story.
Love that.
Ooh, yes.
So
Well, that made sense.
there is
the title.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for
I
noticing.
thought I was there.
Time loops are like famously very constrained. Like I work with like basically the same series of events and the same small cast of characters for 75% of the book. So
Come on, Groundhog Day.
I know I need to find a way to like slot you guys in. Otherwise, you have my word that book 5 is
This is your creative challenge. Is slot us into this.
That's so true. And what a fun creative
And
challenge.
the
calls her
readers can
editor.
look out for it.
Look out for our next book and find our names.
yeah,
And whoever finds it first wins.
yeah, I'm like, why are they doing such heavy promotion for my next book? I'm like, oh, it's because they want
in it.
everyone
We're in it.
to see
Yeah, we'll talk about it
themselves.
every
It's
episode.
like the Where's Waldo.
Yeah,
Trying
we're
to
just
find
always
us.
reading your book.
Wait, I have a question for you guys.
Go on. Oh, yeah.
Slash mostly for Bailey, but you can answer
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in the book community? Because
Oh, yeah.
you're like a pretty prominent
In fact, the founder
book
of the
blogger. Yeah. So you're the first ever book blogger.
First one.
Yeah, first one ever.
No, I read a lot famously. And it was 2020, remember that time. I was like reading an obscene amount because I had nothing else to do. I had already been following some like book Instagrammers. I loved BookTube. So I was like, I'm going to read a bunch of books this year and I'm going to post like my little reviews. So like every time I finished a book, I would post my like story of it. I post my little star review and like my whatever, not tagging authors. And then I felt annoying, respectfully not tagging the authors. I felt annoying after a while. I was like, I feel like my friends are looking at this like, okay, cool, bestie, love that for you. Next. So
should we be concerned about Bailey?
Yeah, we're like, God,
right,
she's reading a lot. But so like December of that year, I was like, I'm just gonna like make my own book account, like whatever. So I made like a little book Instagram and started posting on it. And I just like love aesthetics. Like I'm like in charge of the Instagram for this. Like I love doing like the graphic stuff and like making pretty pictures and like planning the feed. Like it's just fun. So I just started posting, like just having fun. And now I have like almost 13,000 followers. Which is crazy.
And
It's
also you get invited to like every publishing event.
Now I get invited to like events because of it. Like I really did it also to start out because I was like, I want to get the copies of other books before other girls.
You wanted to get in the galley game.
Yes. I was like,
no shame in the galley game.
1,000 followers to get on NetGalley. Like I got this. And once I had 1,000 followers, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Career over.
Career done. I don't care.
What is the best part of being a part of the book community? Is it the friends or the galleys?
I think it is that. Like now, because the events are now like I feel like this year especially are like huge. Like all the publishers are like, we got to throw an event.
Yeah.
All the like authors are like, we got to throw like a book launch, whatever. Or like their managers are or whatever. There were certain weeks I was like, this is New York Fashion Week for books. Like this is insane. I'm invited to an event every night.
Yeah, for sure.
But then because of that, like I've met so many people, authors, like people who work in publishing, but then also just like other readers like me who have the same interests and are like the same kind of weird as me. And like together we can not be weird about it.
Yeah.
But like we're all
good job.
Like I know, beautiful, right?
My favorite thing, I like to be.
And I brought her +1 to like
I love to be a +1 to a book
Yes.
event because also people are like, okay, so like how are you involved in the publishing industry? And I'm like, I'm here to eat the food and drink the
I'm here
drinks.
for the open bar.
It's good to be a +1 to
It's
a
like,
publishing event.
I brought you to some crazy events too.
Yes,
I'm like, sorry.
crazy.
She's always been the ones I brought her to. I'm like, it's not normally like this.
I do think the reason that that's happening is because like traditional book press is on the decline.
Yeah.
Both because like traditional media is on the decline. So like a lot of books editors have been laid off or consolidated. Like there's way less books coverage being written, edited, and produced. But on top of that, way less people are reading magazines, both digital and print.
Right.
So they're also losing their prominence and relevance. This is zero diss to any books that like I personally still read magazines and really love books editors because they are the coolest people ever.
Yes.
Shout out to Vera Fuentes, who's the books editor of Cosmopolitan. It used to be the case that if you got a write-up or a mention in the New York Times, instant bestseller.
That's it.
Now it doesn't really move the needle at all.
Yeah.
People are moving their budgets and using them less on publicity and more on experiences.
Yeah.
And I think the hope of the publisher, I don't want to speak for traditional publishers, but as someone who through 2 events connected to my book, one that I organized and paid for and one that my publisher organized and paid for, I think the hope is that people will not only like organically have such a good time that they'll like post about the book, but also it allows me to meet readers and hopefully my personality helps sell the book a little bit more. And then they either want to read it because they liked me or, and this is the dream, they read it and they like know my voice, they hear me, they understand me. You guys both said you imagine me reading it.
Yes.
I think the way I write is so similar to the way that I speak.
Yes.
Like it helps to sort of contextualize the
Yes.
book. And it's really like, it makes a bigger difference because the real critics now are the big book influencers.
Talkers, those book talk girls.
Yeah, it used to be New York Times mention, New York Times bestseller. Now it's one viral video, like one super viral video.
You're sad.
It really marks a huge shift in an industry that is decades old. And I think like it's interesting having worked in traditional media and now working more so in traditional publishing is media is always trying to like predict what's going to happen next. Like it's constantly, they're just betting on things because if they're not ahead of the curve, they're behind. Like a great example is search engine optimization to AI consolidation, the shift from quantitative to qualitative coverage. But publishing is the opposite. Like I think publishing is constantly reacting like to shifts and changes in the industry. I need to shout out my friend Emma, who is one of the co-founders of Lit Girl, they're a literary consulting group, and they are at the top of their game. They're
literally killing it.
They have the best branding I've ever seen. They're unbelievably well connected inside the publishing scene. They threw the best event for me in September, and it was so creative and so cool. It's funny, like the budget that I allocated for that, I previously would have allocated to a publicist. Right. And now the purpose of traditional media has changed. It's more so to build your author profile and to gain recognition and respect within the industry versus reaching readers, because readers are getting their book recs from other readers. They're not getting it from People Mag right now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That's so real.
Insane. My mom is all over Instagram.
Really?
My queen.
Yes, all over Instagram. Like the most active person I know on Instagram is my mom, posting, reacting, responding, stories, everything.
Stories.
My mom is like the definition of strong opinions loosely held. She, every day, I'm like, I wonder what my mom thinks, feels, and believes today. And every time I'm surprised. Like literally every time.
Keeps you on your
she says
toes.
it with her full chest.
I appreciate that.
better.
I definitely can see where I have gotten like my desire to like run the room from.
I'm seeing some similarities.
It's all come from our
The
mothers.
dots are connecting.
Yeah. Ava and my father are both way better at like picking their moments of when to make the perfect comment.
Yeah.
So where I'm going after this, my family has like my extended family has dinner every Sunday night, and they've been doing this since I was born. Aww. It's not optional. If you're in New York, you have to go. If you're not, you're getting called.
Oh man.
Every Sunday, it follows like the exact same formula. Arrivals and hellos, food served, silently like shoveling food onto our plates and starting to eat immediately. There's no like waiting for everyone to be served. And then immediately someone says like the most controversial comment that they can think. And then we start talking over each other. Eventually there's screaming, there's yelling, there's arguing. Then we have dessert. Perfect. And then with dessert, we laugh. Then we kiss and we hug and we say, see you same time next week. And it's even more scary because a lot of it is in Farsi. A lot of it is not in English. And you can speak even faster in Farsi than you can in English. The first time I brought my husband, who is English.
Whoa.
I know.
I was going to ask if he goes.
Yeah, no, he comes. The first time he came, he got absolutely fucked by this dinner in every way. Like he didn't understand most of what was happening. We were talking about him in Farsi, and he like kind of knew because like we like point and gesture, and also like we say his name. They'd be like Matthew,
and he's like, "Is that about me?"
Yeah, and he's like, sounded like they said Matthew, but with a really thick accent. Also, he didn't know about like taruf, which is like a Persian principle where, we are very pushy. So we offer people things 3 times and they have to say no all 3 times in order for us to give up. So it's like, if you come to my house, I'll be like, can I get you anything? You say no. The next thing I do is I bring a plate of fruit and I put it in front of you. And then if you still don't eat that, I will make you a plate and I'll put the fruit and I'll cut it up and I'll hand it to you. And then if you don't eat that, that's when I will stop trying to make you eat fruit. And that's how it works. It's a game of wills. Is that is that a saying?
Well, I feel like very opposite from the British sentiment, which is overly polite.
Polite.
So they're like, oh, well, he said no, so I'll respect that, blah, blah, blah,
completely.
blah,
There's a lot of contradictory customs in English culture and Persian culture, but all of which to say that like Matthew didn't know about this. So every time they tried to feed him, he said yes as to not be rude. And he was so sick leaving the first dinner. And he didn't know that like you gotta learn how to say no early on or you're gonna get absolutely screwed. It's a problem.
I need dinner with them because I can't say no to anyone and I need to learn to say no.
This will train you basically.
Yeah, I need that. I need to be put through that.
But now it's good. I'm in the 10th year of my relationship with my husband.
Happy 10 years.
Thank you.
Wait, that does bring me into, I wanted to ask you about your wedding was in Vogue.
Literally.
which is so crazy. I'm like, how did that happen? How did that come about?
Yeah, that was a very cool thing that happened at the same month that my second book came out.
Yeah,
and
that too.
They really plugged the book in the article, which is never really a guarantee at all. A writer from Vogue, shout out Florence, reached out to me maybe like 6 months before I got married and asked about my wedding, which I didn't know that this could happen.
Yeah.
And originally I was just going to do like a diary kind of thing, which was also very cool about the cultural customs in my wedding, because I had a Persian English hybrid wedding.
Awesome.
When I got back from my honeymoon, I submitted the photos like they asked, and then they were like, "Can we actually just do a full profile?" Which was very exciting. Of course, I did find out afterwards that there is such a thing as the Vogue curse, which is that like a crazy amount of couples that have been their weddings have been featured in Vogue have gotten divorced really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck! I literally can't have anything."
I feel like because you didn't know going in it was going to be a full feature. Yeah. I don't think that's.
I don't think that counts.
Before I was writing fiction, I worked as a sex and relationships editor and columnist for a bunch of different online and print magazines, which means like I have been writing about every single aspect of my personal life online forever. Like if you Google me, you'll find articles where I talk about like masturbating in college, everyone I've ever had sex with, definitely everyone that's ever made me cry. Yeah. I mean, that was like the girl boss era of media. Yes. I came up in the personal essay boom where it kind of was like, how can you pick apart your personal experience for clicks as deeply as possible? And they loved me for it. I wrote like 38 personal essays, I think, in like a year.
Whoa.
So I have experienced like torture porn, like embarrassed myself to the point where like I don't feel it anymore. Matthew, my sweet, sweet husband, barely has an Instagram account.
That's
like
good.
When you Google him, you can find his LinkedIn photo and then a photo of someone who has his name that was arrested for stealing hot dogs in Florida.
Wait,
I don't blame him.
That's iconic.
I know. He is so supportive about everything that I do. Oh. And for the first time ever, he was like, I don't know if I want like my wedding to be a public thing, which fair enough.
Fair.
Unfortunately, that article was pegged to my book coming out. So I did have to, we had to compromise and do what I wanted.
Sorry.
It looked so joyful. And also you looked obviously amazing, but also
oh my
I
God, you look
remember,
fantastic.
like reading the feature and just like being like, what a beautiful and fun day it looked like.
Yeah. Wait, I think a congratulations is in order. Are we in the presence of a maid of honor?
It's true.
I know. Like, not to make it about me. She asked the question. I said yes. And then immediately she was like, so I've added you to the note where I've been planning The Bachelorette. And here's also 4 different Airbnbs I've been looking at. I'm so glad I could finally talk to you about I was like, oh my God. Okay. So like,
I said, so we need to send the questionnaire out soon to all the Bachelorettes.
It's kicked in. I've already written the opening line to my maid of honor speech that I will be making a year from now.
Yeah.
Wow.
File's done.
Okay, we have to do our spelling bee. We have
to do our spelling bee.
How's your spelling?
I think good, but now I will find out bad.
The moment you've all been waiting for. The spelling bee. Okay, so I was looking up words that are like hard words that are book related, and I found this word, and I feel like I want the computer to say it.
Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian. What's the definition?
It's used as an adjective to describe a word that's very long and multisyllabic. For example, the word sesquipedalian is in fact sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian or
sesquipedalian? Good question. Sesquipedalian. Sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian. S-E-S-S-Q-U-I quip P quipet E-D-I-L-L-I-A-N.
Oh my God, that was so close. I'm so impressed.
Not 2 L's?
D-A-L-I.
No, that was good. I feel proud of how well I
think you
did.
should feel very proud
of that word.
Back to
I
spelling
thought
bee.
that this was good because it's also a French word.
Oh,
for Maggie. It's denouement.
Denouement?
Yeah, which the definition of that, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you.
I know what it is
the final outcome of the main dramatic complication in a literary work.
I also have a degree in theater, and there are in fact denouements in plays. Okay, denouement, D-E-N. Is there? I'm scared.
Me too.
Oh my god, French scares me. I'm gonna throw a weird E in here. E-O-U-M-E-N-T, denouement.
You put the E in the wrong place.
Wrong!
D-E-N-O-U-E-M-E-N-T.
O-U-E, denouement.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's a hard one.
I love
really
the
doing
word
bad on
denouement
this
though.
No one's
You
gonna
picked a
spell
good one.
means that Bailey can't spell her word right because I'll
But
be
what
mad.
if I do it right?
Can I give you a word?
Yeah, is it to do with books?
Get that.
French in order.
French though.
Yeah, good.
Connoisseur.
Oh, that's a good one.
Connoisseur.
too.
I'll never get that right.
Yes, let's hear it.
I'm literally never gonna get connoisseur correct.
No, but this is a safe space for fuck up.
This is a safe space and we've all
established
that.
that.
Connoisseur. I hate this. C-O-N. I don't know. E-S-S-E-U-R. Connoisseur.
That's not right.
That's not right. That's not right. Let's end this.
Yeah, let's
end
end
this.
this. Even though I've had so much fun,
This
and I would
pony show.
Guys, love you so
I know
much.
It's been really fun.
Okay,
I love
what
you
we've
both.
established is that
Hands in.
we have to go out, we have to dance and karaoke.
All right.
Okay, well.
Eli's sitting here looking at us like, okay, so you said you were going to wrap
like
this up.
enough. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
people
wait,
have
we just came
places
up
to
with
go.
it. Yeah, no,
I'm
no.
honestly just having such a good time.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes,
We hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, though.
Yes.
I feel like we sent her a professional email. We said, dearest Iman,
Dearest Iman,
will you
please.
please.
I don't remember why that's my email, but it's.
Which, by the way, you can follow her at
Oh yeah, Iman Hariri-Kia on all platforms.
All platforms,
except
baby.
for Twitter and Threads, because no one should hear every thought that comes into my
Don't
mind.
find her.
Don't
Yeah,
find her
I'm
there.
because I am afraid of those apps. I do have a newsletter. It's called Cherry Picked. It's a coming of age newsletter. You get weekly current states of the unions, a monthly personal essay about a coming of age topic, girlhood, puberty, growing pains, all the fun stuff.
Obsessed.
And then for paid subscribers, there's a weekly report on Sundays, gossip, book recs, like shopping, all that fun stuff.
Yes.
So if you're just absolutely seduced by me,
Which I
come
think
hang
they
out
are.
on
We all
Cherry
are.
Picked.
I am.
Yeah. And I love that. I'm my like silliest, goofiest self on Cherry Picked.
Love
So
that. Okay,
That sounds
great.
so fun.
How could we possibly have anything left to say?
I know. I have more questions in my heart, but here we go. We're ending it.
We're going to end it.
Yeah, we're ending things.
Iman's baby. You have to say the title with us.
Well, that's Bailey.
And that's Iman.
And that's Maggie.
And this has been
Don't Be Weird About It.
Wait, you did so good.
Yay, thank you.
Yay. Hey, this is Maggie
And Bailey.
from the podcast.
Remember,
If you could please like
comment,
and subscribe.
bye.